Morning everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be cleaning out the sand out of our sand pit at the back of the freestall barn. We're going to be using our lagoon pump. We'll hook a hose to the end of this, put a spout on it with some PVC pipe, and then try and blast all the sand buildup out of there. We did this I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, so should be a good amount of manure buildup in that pit. I was slightly concerned that we didn't have all the equipment we needed, but I see it's up there on a pallet in our shed. So we got the pallet of goodies down. This is the bit of pipe we're going to use to actually do the blasting, and then we got a bunch of blue hoses and the special spout for the lagoon pump. So we're at the back of the barn now, and these are the concrete lids we got to take off. There's 2 of them. Got a steel bracket on top. Drop the loader back off for the feeder. If you guys are wondering, we have been getting rain. We got yesterday at the yard 18 millimeters, and a week ago today we got 2 inches of rain, and I think 2 weeks before that we got 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So crops are looking phenomenal. I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but that is our rye field. It is in most spots, like almost the entire field is up to my chest. I'm just wading through puddles here. It's a different year from the last 5 that we've had of drought. This crop that we have right now exceeds what we've had for probably 7 years so far. So tap could always shut off though. It could quit raining. You never know. That's the thrill of farming. We're still in the process of setting this up, which is kind of the theme of how this works. It takes as long to set up as it does to blast it out. So we just drop the pump into the pit. We have 2 ramps. There's one in that corner and one in this corner. So we just hook up the blue hose here to the end of the agitation spout of our lagoon pump, and then run it to that pit, and then we run the pump in the pit, which is already set up, of course, to pump to our lagoon, and we just do it like that. We don't have a long enough hose, so Feder's attaching 2 hoses together right now. And then this is the sand pit, or just the manure pit that we're cleaning out. You can see in this corner how much sand is actually built up. So this is, I believe, an 8-foot pit. Sand is a foot off the top here, and it's so solid you could just stand on it. So it's going to take a bit of working away at. We'll get it emptied out though. All right, I'll turn it on. We'll start slow. Oh no. We should have another one of those good clamps, I think. Gonna go for round 2 now. Our connection burst there. Didn't spill too much, but it was working really good there, so. Making some really good progress. We're just doing shifts. He goes for 20, I go for 20. And we're whittling away at it like that. He just started, so I'm gonna show you guys our rye crop that is right beside the barns. This is one of our poorest fields, and it's never really produced anything insane. But since we've been getting the rain, and this is fall rye, this crop is, some of these heads are gonna be pushing 6 feet tall pretty soon. This is not the tallest part of the field, but it is, it's pretty insane. Yeah, this thing's close to 6 feet. This fall rye is just a phenomenal crop. So we're gonna give it another week or two, wait till early milk stage, and then we're gonna chop it. We were debating whether or not we were gonna use the Draper header or the Haybine header, and that was 2 shots of rain ago. Now there's absolutely no debate. We have to use the Haybine header. The Draper header just pretty much won't handle this crop anymore. There's some lodging going on as well. A lot of the rye has fell down because of wind and rain. So yeah, this fall rye crop, it's pretty stemmy. There's not too much leaf on it, although you know there's some, but it is gonna ton up real nice, I think. So you might be looking at this and want to grow your own fall rye. The key to this crop was we put 90 pounds of actual N down last fall with the seeds. So you need the rain for that to pay off, but this year, for once, for the first time in 3 years since we've been growing this, it's paid off. And yeah, lots of fertilizer. Make it shoot for the stars. It's so weird to have such a tall crop there right up to the edge. The last row that the cedar went by with, right next to the barn. I cannot remember the last time we had something like that. So we're both in the pit right now, just blasting the sand buildup, and it's all gravel down here. It's all stones in this back corner. That's the slot where we push the manure down every day during milking, morning and night. Yeah, this is wild. I had no idea. This must just be all, like it's all gravel. And it's actually right now going all up the pump. I don't know how good that is, but pump's got a lot of straw buildup around it. We're gonna smell like crap for a couple weeks after this, man.
I'm feeling that I'm a firefighter, just with shit job.
Okay, so we're pretty much done cleaning out the pit. Just pitchforked all the straw away from the bottom here. We are probably gonna get a vac truck in here to suck out all the gravel over there. And now we're fixing chains on here for the lift on the pump. Both chains are broken, so we can't lift this out now. We have to manually do it with the wheel loader if we want to. So we're gonna replace these chains. They're hooked up on the bottom there. Snapped somewhere. I think the bottom on that end snapped with the other chain. So yeah, we're gonna take those off, put new ones on, and then yeah, that's been the maintenance on the pump. So these are the 2 chains for the lifting mechanism on that pump. So when it plugs up, you should just be able to plug it into some tractor hydraulics and it'll lift itself up. It does all the lifting with these two chains. One of them snapped last time, buckled up on itself through the sprockets and the orbit motor that drives these chains, and well, we need two new chains. So they're in pretty rough shape. I'm actually impressed by how flexible they still are. It surprised me they can be in crap and still flex at all. But yeah, so we're gonna see if we got enough of that. Otherwise we'll pick some new up, put it on there. We're done blasting the sand out, so. Okay, we're all done with this thing now for the spring. I'm probably gonna need it again in 2 months, honestly, after we chop the rye, probably in a month, but we're gonna give it a bath anyway, because it has not yet been cleaned this year and it's looking pretty dirty. I mean, look at this, it doesn't even look like GEA green anymore, so it's time. That sucks. It doesn't look like that decoloring's coming off. It's because we left it in the pit for like 3 weeks this spring. That's too bad. Oh yeah, paint is just coming off. Look at that, it's just nasty. Feels slimy. I guess it teaches you to take your pump out of your pit when you're not using it. Well, since we're all done with that manure stuff in the barn, Dad's spraying for flea beetles in the canola. We're gonna go bug him with the drone, see what he's up to. He's in the yard filling right now. What are you all spraying on it?
Centurion and Liberty.
Is that for weeds?
For grassy weeds, I believe, and the Liberty is for broadleaf weeds.
Are you not spraying that flea beetle stuff on?
Yep, that too. Pounds.
Okay. So 3 different chemicals. It's real environmentally friendly. Chem handler, just hammer the jugs down, bust the open, then it goes up into the sprayer, which we're gonna see in the field here in a bit. So we're out in the field where Dad is spraying. This is the canola. It's looking good. A little bit of germination issues here, I think. Just with our drill, it's not one of those independent openers, so there is some streaks where, you know, there's not as many plants it's looking like. So something we can work on in the future, but overall, you know, one of the best starts to a canola crop that we've ever had. And if you dig in the ground here, it's just nothing but moisture as deep as you can dig down. So he's spraying for weeds right now. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think he sprayed where I'm standing. So he's also spraying for the nasty flea beetles. You can see some flea beetle damage on this plant right here. The white spots up here, and then of course, I think they've just chewed right through the leaf right there. This leaf absolutely chewed through. Oh, you can see this plant right there has one, well, I just flicked it so they flew off, but there's probably 10 little black flea beetles on there. You can see them jump away. So we are taking some pretty hefty flea beetle damage. It's almost past the stage where it's going to matter that much anymore, though. We're spraying it anyway. This section, it's our baby. It's the most expensive crop we put in this year. We put in quite a few acres, so we're gonna, you know, give it the best shot we can at getting this to yield something, especially when it's at this stage right now. The moisture's there, it's in the ground, it's in the forecast. It's looking like the best year that we could have for crops in the last 6 or 7 years now, maybe even longer. So great start. We don't want to jinx it by saying that too much, but you know, it is what it is. So it's needed. We're gonna get a lot of rye hopefully in the pile, and then hopefully a lot of barley in the silage pits. And then after we're done silaging and making feed, roll the combine out into these fields and hopefully have something to combine this year for once. So we're looking forward to it. Dad's looking forward to it. The whole mentality around the farm, you know, it's good for morale to get some rain and actually see some crops growing out in the field. So yeah, we're gonna get the drone up in the air and watch them do some in-crop spraying. Everybody loves in-crop spraying. And well, since we're out here anyway, might as well check out the rye. This stuff is not as high as right behind the yard, but it's still getting close to the mirrors on the truck, so probably 4 feet. Can't believe it. This is light sandy soil. This rye is just kind of didn't stop growing this spring at all. The rain just kept coming, and this is the result. So the plan with the fall rye, we're gonna chop close to 300 acres, and then we have another 300 that we plan on combining, and then we're gonna get some nice straw bales off that, hopefully. Good amount of grain. We'll feed the grain to the milk cows, of course, just at a low rate. Apparently you can't push the fall rye too much, but you know, 10, maybe 15, maybe 20% of your barley can be fall rye. You get an incredible amount of tonnage off the field if the fall rye will produce. So it's quite a bit heavier per bushel than barley is. So that's the idea behind that. Some guys say it can do 100 bushels. I don't know. This is, I guess, the year to find out for us. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Well guys, that is it for today's video. I am gonna go home now, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.